Here we go then. I'm going to make this design. These three are made with some foils in the background to give a different kind of an effect. So what I've got here is I've got some tips that I've already prepared with 2 layers of gel polish on each in your chosen colour. 1 layer of top coat, a non-shiny top coat I've used. You can also use one with a shiny top coat. With a sticky layer, that doesn't really matter, it's up to you. And then once you've done that and it's fully cured in the lamp, we can remove the shine. Here I'm working on a tip which is glued onto another, what are they called? A sort of a colour pot with some blue tack. So I'm buffing them gently because otherwise the tip could fly off the end, which isn't very handy. But if it does fly off, then I'll just pick it up and continue. So here we go, we've done 2 of those. So we just remove the shine. And this is nearly done, this one. Just do it really gently, that's it. It doesn't have to be completely removed from every single spot, but you know, as long as most of the shine is removed, that's perfectly fine. What we do then is we get rid of the dust, because we don't want dust in our design. And this surface is now ready for foil gel. I'm using this foil gel, but you can use any foil gel from whichever particular brand you use. I think that this is a really good product. And what we do is we just put it on quite thinly. And just clean my container slightly, that's better. Nice and cleaner. What we do is we just apply a thin layer. So you don't want to apply foil gel too thickly. If you do, then you do have a problem that some areas of it might not be cured enough for the foil to adhere to nicely. In this design, we will just be using small pieces of foil, but sometimes you may want to do a full foil design, and this gel is perfect for that. You get a really good adhesion. So I'm just doing this. And actually, some gel polishes, once they're cured in the lamp, some of them do have a sticky layer that is sticky enough to stick in pieces of foil. So you don't always need to use foil gel. Yeah, I've chosen to use it here just to show you how well this works. And also the orange coloured gel polish does not have much of a sticky layer, but the grey one does, because I've got 2 different brands here. So what I do is I pop those into the LED lamp for 1 minute. In my lamp it's 1 minute, and what you need to do is when you're using foil gel, it's best to test out the length that is needed to get the best stickiness for your foils to adhere to. It can vary from lamp to lamp. Now I've got some different foils. I've got a bit of orange, a bit of gold, a bit of silver. This is a good foil because it adheres well to the gel. But if you have foil which doesn't adhere well, you can clean the back of the foil with a wipe. Let's see if I have one here. Yeah, I've got a wipe. I'll just show you quickly now how to do that. You get the wipe. Onto the wipe, you put a little bit of alcohol or a little bit of cleans. I'm just getting some at the moment because this is not a step that I usually do. I've never had problems with this foil sticking, but anyway, I will show you. What you do is you've got a little bit on your wipe, just wipe over it. That's it. It's nice and clean, and it will increase the amount that the foil will stick to the foil gel. So the minute's up, so we take those out of the lamp, and what we do is we apply our foil gel. As you can see on here, I've got a little mix, so I've got a bit of silver and a bit of gold. So you just want to, with a quick movement like so, you see, it's a bit stuck there. This one is for all over. You can see how it's come off nicely. You can put on as much or as little as you like. Oops, see, that's what I mean with the blue tack. That's what I was worried. This is such a good sticky gel. Let me just replace this one moment. I do have to be a bit careful. Let's see, that's it. And now I'm going to put on some silver. Let's hope that doesn't come off again. No, there we go. Okay. Just using my thumb, apply a nice pressure and then pick up. You can make it as full as you like, or just leave it like this with some gaps. I think that I like that. That's enough on there. Then we'll do the next one. This one I've put a bit more orangey tones in it, orange and gold. So let's see. Bit of, oops, the gold is a bit more sticky-ish. So, and some orange. Sorry, I'm gonna have to stick these down a lot, so that's it. You see, a bit more orange, and perhaps around the side here, otherwise I find that a bit too empty. And a little bit at the bottom. Of course, when you're working on your customers, their nails will stand perfectly. They won't be pulling off once you're working on them. This one, all we're doing is going around the edge, because in the middle we want to put a flower, see? So I chose to use some orange on that one. Yeah, I'll still use orange on this example, why not? We'll just try to get it going around the edge a little bit. I'll just keep turning it around. So we've made our way around basically. See what we've got. Okay, we need a bit at the top here and at the bottom. We could just make it a bit more definite, the pattern. Okay. Okay, when putting the foil on, it is handy, to keep using a fresh piece each time. If you can imagine that you press into the foil gel, you pick up, and then on the bottom of your foil, you've still got some of the foil gel stuck on here, which means that if you press it down in those same places again, the foil won't stick as well as if you use a new patch. That's what's recommended. I must say I often do sometimes still just use the same area, especially for things like this, and it's still fine. Once we've done this, we need to go over it with a top coat, because we're going to put the top coat on and then we will go over the top coat with the buffer to create a nice surface for the stamp to stick to. I do know that some people would just stamp straight onto this as well. That is possible if you've practiced a lot and you're confident that you will stamp your design and you won't make any mistakes, then you can go ahead and do that. But you do need to get it perfectly in the correct position, because if you don't, then you'll need to buff it away, or you'll need to use nail polish remover to get rid of your mistake. And if you do that, it could ruin the under layer, which is your foil and your gel polish, which you've already got on. And that would be a pity, which is why I find it handy when teaching people to work like this, to first put on a layer of top coat and do the steps which I've just mentioned. So this has now got the top coat on it. And as you can see, we're going to stamp the designs, but these also look gorgeous just as they are. If you wanted, you could also, for example, just leave a thumbnail with just foils and then just stamp on the rest of the nails. Those are going into the lamp for 1 minute. Or you could, for example, use the stamping on, actually, on my own nails here. I've got stamps here on my little finger. I've got here foil and stamps. But on these two, I just decided to use a bit of foil. And this one, I've just only put foil at the bottom. So you can mix, and what have I got on my thumb? I've got a stamp here. So you can just mix up designs and play around with them as you want, really. Fully cured. And actually, I think this one is actually really cool, just like that, even with nothing on it further. So we're just going to give them a quick buff over. I love foils. They're so versatile. They're such fun. You really can get some fantastic creations when working with foils. Especially, can you imagine this for Christmas nails? This one that's in my hand here. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, that should be okay. As I said, I have not done every single area, but let's see this one perhaps. Just do that one ever so slightly more. Now that's it. We just get rid of our dust. Now, just to be sure, let's just go over it slightly. Just a little bit more. You can see when you've done it nicely because the foil becomes a little bit matte. In fact, you can even use matte top coat on top of foils and that gives a great effect. That's so nice. Right, so we've got those ready. Okay, the base of the nail is prepared, so now we can get stamping. Let's have a look. So we can do this one first, one with the little flower in the middle. Let's bring it down a bit so you can see it better. And here is the stamping plate for that. Let me just grab a little holder for it. I prefer that myself. I mean, you don't always have to put them into a holder, but I do find it a bit easier. All right, so we've got this one underneath, so we just give it a little clean with the acetone. It's a nice rough surface, so we can stamp onto that straight away. Give my polish a little bit of a shake. That's it. And my polish, because I've had it quite a while and it's actually nearly quite empty, I've just made it a bit more fluid, a bit more, so that I can paint with it easier. I've just placed it in a little cup of warm water for a couple of minutes and I've just taken it out. So that will make it a little bit easier for me to paint with now. Actually, I can just show you here. It's just resting in a coffee cup. The white one's in there as well because there's also not a lot left of that. That's how much I use the polishes. But anyway, so I'm going to use this little flower. We just want the one flower, nothing more really. So let's see. Let's get ready to scrape. So we just go right over the flower like that. Scrape across gently. Whoops. I didn't have my card tilted enough, so I've made a bit of a mess. Can you see that in the middle there? It's a thick line, and if you pick that up, that's what it will look like on the nail. So we need to scrape across again. Just give it another go. Oops, here we are. So we put the polish on. Scrape across a bit more gently. That's better. It doesn't make that bumpy noise. We pick it up. We place it in the middle, more or less in the middle, and then we roll it away. Let's have a look what we've got. Let's see, we have got the flower, that's just what we wanted, and here is on the stamping plate it's got a tiny little, was it a petal just here? I myself don't find that necessary on this design, so I'm actually just going to remove it. I'm just going to buff it away. But I mean, if you want to keep it on there, if you have a design, a stamping plate similar, of course you can keep it on there. As you can see on here, I've got a small little stone in the middle. So we're going to use the top coat. I'm going to place the top coat on. Making sure your stamping polish, it dries so quickly, so usually you don't really have to wait. You can just put your gel polish top coat on pretty much straight away, especially if you've been busy like stamping, say, all 10 nails. By the time you go back to your first nail, it is completely dry. And this also, I mean, I've only just stamped it and it's completely dry. Let's see if there's any gaps. Yep, just down the bottom there. The thing with the top coat, sometimes you need to glide it over so gently. Yeah, that's completely covered. The top coat, it can be the sticky layer for your little stone. So here we are, I've got a box of stones here, and I've got a wax pencil to pick up a small stone with for the middle of the flower. So I've just decided to use the tiniest stone that I've got here, and I just place it on into the top coat, press it in. So press it down nicely, and what we do is we put that into the lamp for 1 minute to harden out. Okay, I'm now ready to stamp the next one. So here it is, and I'm going to use this Dreamcatcher plate. I was thinking of stamping with white polish, but unfortunately my white polish is too old. I've just opened it because I just had it resting in a little bit of warm water just to make it a bit more, yeah, so I can actually use it a bit softer, but it hasn't worked. So it's actually for the dustbin, it's ready to get a new one. So what I'll have to do is I'll just use a black because I don't have another white at the moment. So I'm just going to take the black polish and take part of the design. It would be nice to have some of this circle in it, smaller circle or the larger circle, doesn't really matter. Just basically I'm just going to scrape over some of this Dreamcatcher. Hopefully some polish wants to come out for me. Let's give it a bit more of a shake. That's it, now we go over the Dreamcatcher. Oops. Scrape over. Missed some of the design there. Missed it. So what I'm going to do is twist my plate, and I'm going to scrape in the other direction in the hope that the polish will go into the grooves better in this direction. Sometimes it depends on how the plates are engraved as to how well the polish will go in there. So we'll do it in the other direction, go down. Seem to scrape a lot easier in that direction. Yeah. So now we just place these on, we roll across. Okay, push the edges down there also. And then we can have a check on our design, what we want to remove. Yeah, coming back to what I was just saying. First of all, I tried to scrape across, and I could feel, let me see, where are we? Oh, yeah. I could feel the stamping card going like this, really over the top. It was kind of jittering as I scraped across. I could feel it bumpy. So when I turned it around and I scraped down the pattern, it just went a lot smoother. So that did help with that one. So now we can look on here and see if there's anything that we want to remove. I think here at the bottom, let's have a look. There's a bit of a line I find a little bit too much. I find that not so nice, so I'm just going to remove that bit of a line. But I mean, it is part of the pattern, so actually, a minute. Not even needing to remove the whole line, it was just a little bit that was sticking down. I think once that's removed, it looks a lot neater. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's much better. So to me, this one, I think, yeah, that one's also ready. In the meantime, this one, the top coat, has stuck. So what you could do is, because you've got a little stone there, you could go around it again with some top coat. I'll just show you. And also, if you don't mind, I would just quickly clean off the polish on my fingers. Yeah. What you can do is, just to make sure that your stone stays on nicely, you can just get your top coat and push it right up, and you just go right around the stone. If you want it to stick on really well, you can go right over the stone, but then your stone will become dull. So I just push it right up, and then you just polish over everything again, and then you've got a beautiful smooth surface, just like that, you see? And then you put that back into the lamp to harden out again. So that is fine. This one, I'll put the top coat on it in a moment. Let's see. Actually, I'll just do it now, why not? So at least that's also got its top coat on it. And I can pop it into the lamp. What's nice is how the colours pop out when the top coat goes on. I absolutely love that. That's like the magic. That's when people go, ooh, when they get all excited to see what's been revealed. It's like revealing the treasure. You see how that looks? That looks so cute. Right, that's in the lamp. The last one, let's have a look. On here I used flowers. Let's see the stamping plates I've got here. And in fact, let me just show you these plates, because I'll just make a little bit of space here to show you something. Just to show that there's quite a bit of difference in stamping plates. For example, we've got these ones here. As you can see, these are quite long and reasonably wide, so these are quite good to fit onto a finger. And here we've got some, oops, yeah. If you look at them, you can see, let me just place it here, yeah. You can see that it's also quite a nice length, but it is narrower than the one above it. So my preference really for working on someone with longer, wider nail would be to go for that one. Here you may have difficulty catching the sides on somebody's hands. Let's have a look at these stamping plate. This one is, here we can see it's nice and long. You can see it's nice and long, this plate, and it's a little bit wider than the one in the middle. And compared to the one on the top, let's have a look. It is just about as wide, and it's actually, I think it's the same size. Looks around the same size to me. This one is the smallest so far. These ones have got another different, let me rest these down here. Let's have a look. Just try to keep them lined up still so you can kind of see what I'm getting at. So I'll pop that there. These ones are kind of, they look, let me see how long they are. Oh, they're a bit shorter. These ones are a bit shorter, but they're quite wide, I think, compared to this one. Yeah, they're quite wide. I think these are the widest. So these are quite wide, but they're not quite long. So sometimes it can sometimes be a bit tricky fitting certain designs onto certain types of nails. Sometimes you can buy full plates of patterns. I don't actually have any of those. No, I don't have those, but they're also available. Sometimes you can buy this whole plate, for example, is one enormous pattern, and then you just pick up pieces from it to stamp with. So I just wanted to show you those because it just shows that there's just, you know, sometimes a little bit of a difference in stamping plates. So let's see, for this design, I'm just going to take this plate. It's quite long, but it's a bit narrow. So that's tricky on the edges sometimes. Right, let's see. Let's clean the one we're going to use. Oh, these two are ready actually. Just take them out of the lamp. There's one there. So that stone will be fine. That should stay on the nail for a couple of weeks. There's one there as well. Okay, we're just going to stamp now the next design, and I've got these little circles ready. I was wanting to stamp with black, but my black is also completely finished. So I've just decided to use this other colour. It's a kind of a brownish, reddish kind of a colour on the designs, which are quite a bit narrowish, but we'll see how we get on. So we're going to put the polish on. Let's see, yep. Okay, scrape across. And I roll. Oops. Oh, that was just smudged. I'll just do it again. I felt it slip as I was trying to pick up the design. Just do it again. Here goes. So we put the polish. Oh, make sure our stamping cushion's clean. Yeah. We'll just do it again. So we put the polish on. We scrape across. Pick up, that's it, and we place it onto the tip. I think, I'm not entirely sure if it's completely covered. I'll just roll it back and forth and we'll see, Sometimes you can miss the edges with these narrow ones. We'll see. Roll it away and see how much has been covered. You can see on here that it's actually been covered all over. I will just get rid of all of this mess and tidy that up afterwards. So look, so what we can do now is we can add our top coat to this. Just push down the edges. If this is on a reel now, you can use a cuticle pusher on your customer just to go around the edge to get rid of those little frayed edges from the gel polish. Sorry, from the stamping polish, I mean. So we just go over. And the other thing you want to remember is when you're stamping, you give them a double top coat. That will keep them looking really, really nice. Now this can go into the lamp to harden out. And then while that's hardening out, I will just straighten up. So I mean, the thing is to just have fun with your stamping. Just try your different plates with different bases. You can use foils, you can have it plain. You can mix and match, because from all of the little videos that we've got here to show you, it can give you ideas and techniques so that you're able to make hundreds of different designs. I mean, it's just limitless what's possible with stamping. And even on these designs, if you want to, you can even add more stones. I mean, you can add more little stones here and there. It's just really, it's just what takes your fancy, how wild you want to go, really. It's as simple as that. And these, I would say they look a little bit like autumn, those kind of colours. But I mean, if you do them with a bright neon gel polish underneath, for example, then you've got things that will look like summertime designs. This one is now ready, so just take it out of the lamp. So as you can see, these were the original designs that we used as our base. And this is what we've now made today. So, I mean, it's similar, but it's just a slight different look. I think this actually looks really, really cool, that one in the end. So, have fun with those designs and thank you for watching.